Welcome back to episode 16 of the Coffee Pod. We had a few malfunctions there today. Rob wasn't going to be able to join. Jack wasn't going to be able to join because he was playing soccer and broke his thumb. And I'm still here just because I have nothing else to be doing.
You may do it on
Well,
your own
boys,
now.
what's the story?
All good, Con, yourself.
Listen, it's the first time actually we put it on our Zooms, and we are recording for YouTube. Hopefully,
Nah,
if
this is
this
gonna
all
work.
goes to plan.
But it's the first time
Big step.
we're all doing it remotely. So like,
Remotely,
I don't know
and
what way
just
we're all
get-
gonna sound, but sure, fuck it, give it a
So
go.
listen, we'll get used
See
to it.
what
We'll get
happens.
used to it.
See what
It's
happens,
good.
boy.
It's good. It's good to try something different. See where it works. Probably next week we're all back together. Well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
anyway, we'll all try to get it back.
I'll be
together.
back. I'll be back now. I haven't said it to you. I'll be back in November. So we'll have an old three in the same room before too long. Not too far away.
Jack, what date are you back in November?
I'm back. I actually only found out today I had to get time off for a wedding. So I'll be back the
Congratulations,
20.
Jack.
Thanks very much. Yeah. Said I'd come back for it. The 24th,
Oh,
I
right,
think
yeah,
I'm
fucking
back,
so.
and I'll be back for about a week. I'll be back for about a
Oh,
week.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll have one in the flesh, at least one
One in the
anyway.
Yeah.
flesh. Yeah, be good to have you back in.
Long overdue.
Long
Long overdue is right.
Long overdue.
Facts.
Listen,
Facts.
we had Jack is still celebrating with a glass of whiskey beside him that he has new Saudi Arabian owners or wherever they're from.
The
How are you
Saudis are
feeling?
in. Massive, yeah. As 20 years now following Newcastle, and it's been tough. It's been a tough 20 years now. The last couple of
Like I
relegations.
enjoyed the slagging. Now it's going to be like,
Telling you, we'll do
we're
a couple
gonna-
of years time
We're
now. A
gonna eat
couple of
our
years
words
time.
now.
I'm telling you.
listen. They're gonna have so much money, and listen, it will turn out that they're going to be good. But for the first few years, it's
But, like-
it's all being about attracting people. Like,
Yeah, but like,
It's
do you know what I mean?
we were saying there's going to be like it the same way. Do you know the way City had like their Robinho signing? Like, do you know, it'll be one of them.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be someone like Coutinho will come in for Newcastle or someone
I
like
see someone like Mauro Cardi or
Icardi would be a good one. Yeah,
do you know like our lad like Luka Jovic? Do you know that lad?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
can-
fuck yeah, that'd be.
Do you know like a lad that just is not like is actually a big name but isn't in a squad? Do you
Big
know that
squad,
kind of
like,
way?
yeah,
Like,
he hasn't
or
really.
always in a Brazilian. A Brazilian loves money.
Yeah.
They're always
Yeah, they're
Right.
definitely.
they don't care where they are. They just want money.
He's someone mad coming in.
Oh,
Someone's father.
Oscar-
Someone's father is an agent.
Oscar's gonna come back to the Premier League on $1 million a week.
Oscar.
Yeah,
Is he still knocking about Oscar?
Yeah,
He went
he's
to
on
fucking
fucking like 500k a week in Shanghai.
He went. He's still in China.
Yeah,
He was
he's
part
there.
of the big old crew that went out there, and I
He
thought like
could-
half of them just went for like a year or two and then came back.
Yeah, load of.
He's obviously
played,
still
load
knocking
of
about.
played. Nah, he's still out there.
Graziano Pele was rocking it up for 600 grand a week at some Chinese club. Like, you know what I mean?
Alexandre Pato going out there as well was another one.
Yeah,
There was
what man
two.
couldn't score a goal and to save his life in the
Yeah.
Premier League? Like, goes out and
Yeah.
gets $1 million a week.
He didn't go to the Premier League, did he?
Well.
Or who's he
He
with?
did. He played at
Pablo,
Chelsea
he
for
played
a
at
year.
Chelsea, yeah.
Chelsea, Jesus, yeah. Well, obviously goes to show he didn't make too much of an impact anyway. Barely remember him.
Absolutely, yeah. But how do you
Yeah.
like? I don't know. I'm a bit iffy about this whole thing of how do you actually feel? Like, say, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Like, I know you're buzzing, but how do you
See,
feel about the whole thing?
I suppose the big debate is like it's Saudi Arabia and everyone's saying about their human rights kind of crack isn't exactly up to scratch for our team to be on. That's why everyone's giving out with them coming in. But to be honest, right, I couldn't give a shit. I couldn't give a shit. Yeah, couldn't give a shit.
Right,
I'd
like
say-
the,
That's
There
what I
is a
couldn't give a
thing
shit. Like it's just
Yeah.
that, like I don't know. I suppose, like, if you're gonna be giving out about this, right? First of all, you've already got fucking City and PSG who are owned by a state already,
Yeah.
and fair enough. Qatar and it's the UAE, isn't it? That or City or the Arab? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, okay, they're probably not as bad human rights wise as Saudi Arabia, but so far
Qatar
as like
still are bad. Like they, how many people are after dying building those World Cup stadiums
Yeah.
and everything? Like, there's only 3,500 people have died building the stadiums.
Is it though?
Yeah,
is
yeah,
is that crowd that bought your club? Is that the people who are building the stadiums in Qatar. I know they're Saudi Arabian. But
They're Saudi Arabia.
No, it's Saudi Arabia, so it's like they're the public investment
Qatar,
fund. They call
PSG.
it.
I know, but is there firm or whatever? Like, is there are they like over the building in Qatar? I thought I heard that. Maybe
No, they're not. No,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
the firm is actually they're basically representing the Saudi Arabian state. Now they say they're not.
Oh,
Like,
right.
you know, they say they're
It's
like,
so
but it's
funny.
the
They basically
it-
just put a firm at the end of the Saudi Arabian firm. It's like, oh, this isn't the same people. Oh my god.
But do you know what the other fucking big thing I'd say about it is that, like, if you're going to be giving out about this, right? If you're going to be giving out about a state or a group coming in that aren't exactly, don't have a shining reputation, they're not exactly sound men, you know, like, then are you giving out about the clothes you wear as well? Because the clothes you wear are made by
That's
like
so
fucking
true. Yeah,
kids in sweatshops. Your phone, like, anything you own with a battery has lithium in it that's been mined by African children.
You see that
you
stuff
know?
about the gold in your phone as well, the gold plated stuff. Like, all that gold comes from some fucking place in Peru where they're like some fucking mafia, like, run these. They just pay these lads like absolutely fuck all money to get the gold out
That's just
and sell it off for hundreds of thousands or whatever. Like, and then it just
Sure,
comes
that's
into
just-
their
that's-
phones. Like,
that's the point, like, you know, like, if you're going to be giving out about the Saudi Arabians taking over a football club, yeah, fair enough. They're not exactly stellar, you know, they're not exactly sound, but, you know, you have to give out about your phone, you have to give out about your clothes, probably the food you're eating as well. You know, it's, you know, literally
Yeah,
everything.
There is a way though, like, but in a way, right? Whereas I look at that is, I don't know, good or bad, the phone and the thing is not exactly highlighted. We're kind of given these, like, now
yeah, but it's not highlighted because, like, it's not a big, like, the only reason that
yeah,
this is
but
highlighted
I'm
is 'cause
saying that
Newcastle
they're
United,
after
like.
coming in to clean their name through a club, so they're going to use Newcastle by saying, look what we're doing here. We're trying to bring on football in this place. Forget about what's happening to us.
Closer to the bike there.
Look what we're trying to do here. They're saying, look what we're trying to do here. Forget about the club. We're just trying to be good people. And yeah, do you know, like, they killed
But
that
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think. Yeah, the journalist. That's a mad one.
Wait, what's that?
killed that. They killed up. The journalist was talking about the way that they were treating people in Saudi Arabia, and
He was
talking
Saudi
against the
Arabian
government.
himself.
His
and he
name
was
is Khashoggi. Right? So if anyone wants to listen, we'll look it up. I don't know if you want to look it up, but if you
It
want to
is
look
mad.
it up,
It's brutal,
it is
like-
mad. So they caught him, brought him away, brought him into, like, the mountains, and then chopped
It was
him up.
no, they didn't. They brought him
this,
into. He was in Turkey, and
sorry.
he was looking for papers so that he could get married. And he went to the Turkish or to the
Yeah,
Saudi
so
Arabian
sorry.
embassy in Turkey so he could get the papers. And when he got to, like, he knew that the Saudi Arabians were looking for him, but he was in Turkey, like, you know, on the run or whatever.
Yeah.
And when he got into the Saudi Arabian embassy, they caught him and they fucking chopped him up and
What?
murdered him. They, like,
Yeah,
it's,
so, like,
it's awful.
like, that's, and like, those kind of stories
Sorry, was
are.
this? Oh, sorry, you're saying you want to get married, but this is nothing to do with him going on reporting about the Newcastle yoke, is it?
Oh, no,
Is this
that's
a-
why.
No.
It's not
He
to do
was
with Newcastle.
reporting
He was,
nothing to do with Newcastle. He was
Just-
reporting about, like, way people were being treated. Kind of went against the government, if you want to talk about that way.
and he
Oh,
was,
so
he was just basically
hell.
speaking out about, no, that, I suppose, when you hear that story, it kind of
Okay, yeah,
puts
like-
my whole argument to shite, like, but at the same time,
Imagine, like, they were just like any fans that were given out, they just, like, kidnapped them and chopped them up.
yeah, I better be looking over my shoulder now for the next few weeks.
It was like, maybe
Get
they
a
shouldn't
full-
put out this podcast.
yeah. Jack Cotter, call into the Saudi Arabian embassy in the Netherlands there. We just want to have a chat. Yeah,
Listen,
Jesus.
like, it's, like, what, and the one thing is, I do feel it is coming in is, like, this whole sports washing thing in general. Like, but in fairness though, I don't like Man United owners, and it's not that they're doing things to journalists that talk against them or anything like that, but Man United owners are taking money out of the club and just robbing money, basically. Like, so there's a lot of owners that are shady
Well,
regardless.
they're
of
not
what
really
you do,
robbing
but
money,
this-
like, it's their money at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, but what they're doing is they're taking
But
out
they're
more
using
money.
United. They're using United.
You're
United
using
are,
United.
aren't they one of the only teams in the world that you can publicly trade on, that you can buy
Yeah,
shares in United?
exactly.
Like,
So
their
they're
stock
putting
goes up
none
and
of
they
it
make
back
money.
into it. Yeah, you can buy into United. So whenever United buy a
fuck, I didn't know
player,
that. Arsenal
they have
used to
to-
like that.
they
But
have-
then just Kroenke took them
yeah,
over.
But you have to
bottom all out.
you have to tell the New York Stock Exchange. So the New York Stock Exchange knows when United are about to buy a player before like the fans, because it's about to happen there. So it always sees and adjusts. Like with Ronaldo came in, that's why the New York Stock Exchange, just by Ronaldo coming in, United stock price went up 8%. It was just flew up like so. It's just like those
it's
kind of
also
things.
why United keep buying fucking star forwards like
Yeah,
like
because it's just the way it
Martial.
is. It's
Back as
just
far as
money.
Sanchez, even like they'll never buy a centre back. Like they're not okay, but fair enough, they bought Varane this year. But before that, like it was all these
Harry
like
Maguire, sure.
marquee
Big
forwards,
money, big yeah.
Pogba, Harry Maguire, I suppose, yeah,
Like,
household
Slabhead.
name, Slabhead Maguire. What was he?
But
Was he like? What was he? He wasn't 90, was he?
He was 90
he's
million, yeah.
75, wasn't he? Or 85,
Jesus
85.
Christ!
85,
Imagine
yeah.
if when Harry Maguire, when he was growing up, being told you're going to be bought for 75
Go
million
on,
euros.
Do you know
Slabhead.
what? Do you know what? He's very good.
Yeah,
he's very good. Now, stick by
he's
it.
actually getting good now.
He is very, very good.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Some
right,
shot-
sticking
sorry,
back to the
sticking
thing,
back
like,
to the thing,
and
yeah.
where,
Yeah.
swinging back to where we're at, like, I know it does totally understand, but this whole sports washing thing, and I think you said earlier about, was it separating the art
Separating
from
the art from the artist. Yeah, I suppose it's kind of similar enough, and it's kind of linked to this. Is when you can kind of if somebody you're supporting or someone you like is maybe involved in something that's not that great. Like the example we're using is Michael Jackson. Like like when I remember do you remember what was it 2 or 3 years ago, the Michael Jackson, the documentary came out about the lads who he supposedly fucking fiddled when they were younger. They made like yeah, for want of a better
Gracious
word,
words, yeah.
they but they made a documentary about him, like talking about what happened, and they got a whole load of blowback off it. But then, like immediately after that, like RTE wouldn't play his music. On the radio, they said that they wouldn't play Mike Jackson music anymore, and that's kind of like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't agree with
whether
that.
or not Michael Jackson did it. Yeah, whether or
His
not
music-
Michael Jackson
his
did it.
music's still
Thriller
alright,
is still a great song.
Yeah,
do you know?
like-
Yeah,
Oh,
do you know?
To be fair, though,
I still know where I'd look at it that way though. If you were, say, like you were sexually abused, or if you were something like that as a child, and you hear Michael Jackson's music still being played, coming on and stuff like that, it's going to be like cause a bit upset with you. Do you know that kind of way? So,
Yeah,
but if
like-
you never knew, Mike, if you grew up listening to those Michael Jackson songs and you never knew any of that kind of stuff, do you know, you wouldn't have a problem with it. Do you know?
but
like
we
you'd
do
still
know.
I know, but
Yeah,
like it's
I-
basically that
no, but
you
like,
like the song, you know.
I say, yeah, I
Why
still, when I hear the songs now, I still think, like, it's in my head now, be like, oh, fucking molester, like, prick, but like, I'm not like, oh, I'm not listening to his music just because he did that. Like, I still like his songs.
Do you
are
know-
still savage. Like,
Do you know what's another one right now? Another one would be Kevin Spacey. Do you know the way he got done there
Oh,
for?
well, piece of shit.
Yeah,
yeah,
didn't
fuck.
exactly look.
But yes,
But House of Cards is still unreal. Do you know?
and do you know that Baby Driver? Like that's one of my favorite
Baby
movies.
Driver, what
or
a movie.
21,
I can't-
21.
Yeah,
Did you ever see that?
like I can't. Yeah, that's so true. Like that, like because I'm not the biggest Michael Jackson fan anyway. Like it's
Oh,
not
fuck,
like that. I go sit,
I grew
listen
up listening to him.
Beat
Like,
It or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that biggest fan, but when you put into a good movie, like I still like the
Yeah,
movie.
like,
No, that-
are you not gonna like? Would you not watch Baby Driver? Would you
No,
not?
I
like,
still watch it
you know?
again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that-
Like, you know, you kind of have to you have to separate that's the phrase. You have to separate the art from the artist. Like, you have to kind of say, like, fair enough. This shit went on, and you maybe you weren't the best person in one area of life, but you made great music, or you made great series or whatever.
But
Like, you
I
don't have
suppose,
to go
there
for a
is
pint with
people-
him. Like, you don't have to fucking
Yeah, exactly.
you have to-
exactly.
But there's always lads then that you could talk. I suppose you could talk about like you're talking about Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg killed a man basically.
Did he?
Did he?
Well, he shot a man. He shot somebody. Remember, he went to was it security guard or something like that? It was in the whole
Tupac
what's that
yoke,
one? With the it was Tupac yoke. But then
I
there's a
don't know.
load of people like that. Like you look at rappers, And then you're like, I suppose like there's people like Bill Cosby who'll never be forgiven.
Yeah.
Do you know that lad?
But
who's
again, right? Again, Bill Cosby, man. Have you
show.
ever looked
No,
at have you ever looked at this show? It's brilliant. But have you ever listened to his stand up? Like his stand up is fucking unreal.
I actually
it's
never
so
have.
funny.
Never have.
It's
Oh,
just,
he's
Actually,
he's
Jack,
he's
so
just
Jack.
a
funny,
lad
like.
that just went.
I know this is
Go
one
on.
for you now because I know you love him. Say if something came out about Dave Chappelle, would you say?
Oh no! Funny you mentioned him. He's going to come up later.
He's coming. He is. There's something about him now. Did you see about
what?
this whole Dave Chappelle? Right? So no, it's not a bad So Dave Chappelle in his new comedy special on Netflix gives a load of grief. Well, not a load of grief. So what happened was that is Caitlyn Jenner has got Woman of the Year.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Fuck's sake.
So he goes.
I've heard this, actually.
He said Caitlyn Jenner has got Woman of the Year. So like it's better than all you women in Detroit, all this, and he's going on about like how the hell has Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year, right? So now like this load of backlash. This one that she directed, but was a he, so trans, whoever is she directed one of the shows on Netflix, but she is boycotting Netflix until his thing is taken. Like she directed one of the big ones, like, so it's not even one of the, like, I don't see an issue with that because listen, like he's like, regardless of he thinks he's a woman, he's only been a woman a year. So how can he be like, if he was a woman a few years, he'd be kind of like, well, listen, he might have done something for charity and all this kind of stuff.
But also in there, like Dave Chappelle didn't slag, he didn't slag him, basically.
The way I took it, I didn't think he slagged it. Really.
Caitlyn Jenner, when she was Kris Jenner, so she killed somebody, like ran over someone in a car. And killed someone.
Bruce Jenner, not Kris
Jenner.
Jenner.
Bruce Jenner.
Kris Jenner's the wife.
Bruce Jenner. Sure, he killed someone in a car, like ran over someone in a car, completely got away, and now people love him.
Was that before or after he got the old switch?
No, he was Bruce.
Yeah, I think he was Bruce.
He was Bruce when that happened.
It was Bruce, yeah.
And like now everyone's like, yeah, more power to him. He's a transgender. Like, like it's fucking.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I suppose to bring it back to the whole like separating the art from the artist. Like if Dave Chappelle, like what you were saying, like if something came out about him, yeah, I think I'd still listen to him. Like
depends how severe it is, though.
It depends. Yeah, okay, yeah, it depends what it is. Like,
because sometimes with the Bill Cosby thing, I just can't look beyond that.
Yeah,
the stand up is a weird one as well because.
But like you'd still listen to Dave Chappelle, but would there still be a piece of it? I'd be like, oh god, he's not the same. Like you'd still like him, but like would there be a little bit of tarnish on him? Like
that's a great point. I think there would.
I think there probably would be. There probably would be. I suppose. I think this is kind of linking into what we'll get on to know later, but if I'd probably still listen to Dave Chappelle stand up, but I wouldn't meet him for a pint. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd kind of, because he did something shitty, or well, if he made it depends what he did. Again, like if he did something shitty, then you wouldn't want to meet.
Yeah, like say it was something
the same way, like
Kevin Spacey.
like the same. Yeah, Kevin Spacey. There
that's
you go.
what I mean. That whole R. Kelly thing, like he won't.
Yeah, things like that, like.
He's just finished with me, like, that kind of way.
I never was a fan of him anyway, to be honest. But
yeah,
I wasn't
a fan of him either, but
if it was somebody you were a fan of, like you'd probably you'd probably still listen to Michael Jackson's music, but you wouldn't go sending your kids over to his house for a play date. Like, do you know what I mean?
No,
You'd
100%. Yeah.
You kind of it's basically you've made a judgment about what they're like as a person, not what they're like at what they do.
Like,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like even actually another one. Here's one for you now, Car. Do you know Ronaldo is caught up in that whole?
He's exonerated,
case.
lad.
Is he?
No, he just
with
got
the rape case.
No, there's the rape case has just been thrown out in Las Vegas.
Okay.
They were to Nevada. They went over and all the judges, something like 4 judges or something, have decided to throw out the case as inconclusive evidence or something.
Right. Well, let's just say it went the other way.
But
right? Let's say
it went the other way.
Would you stop watching United?
Yeah, like no way, like.
No way. You would.
You got we have him here.
I'd be still going see every
exactly.
week. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a good point. But listen, if it
Look, it all depends on who the person is and how much you like him, really. Like,
again, and it's the same point. Like you'd still go to Old Trafford and sing songs about him, but you wouldn't introduce him to your girlfriend. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which it could be done about a lot of people, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, dead right. Right, boys. Okay, I have a question for you. If you had to pick an ideal trio, so 3 lads, alive or dead, lads or women, alive or dead, to go for a pint with, who are they?
Great.
3 names. 3 names.
Do you know your 3 or Lego, Con?
Ivan, I'll kick you off anyway, just to give you an idea.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, so give us a thought.
So you want a good mix, right? First of all, you want 3 people like that'll be able to drink a pint anyway. That'll be a good laugh as well. So like, I'd want a comedian there anyway. I'd want someone there that'd be able to chat with. And there's so many to pick from. Like, you know, at the moment there's Tommy Tiernan. Theo Von is the absolute man.
So
hilarious.
Funny.
He's so funny. Do you listen to him at all?
Love Theo Von.
I listen to a lot of his like clips and shorts and stuff on YouTube. Like, Jesus.
Yeah,
like I don't know if he's being serious half the time. Like, his stories are so outrageous.
So mad.
They're like he can't be serious out, but then you can't tell either because he's so good at pulling it off. Like, and
he's so good.
Like,
I often think that like he just thinks of like what would be a mad thing to happen, like what would be a crazy story I could say, and then he thinks up with this mad story and then just said, yeah, I had this friend in my town, we called him little Jimmy Burbank.
Yeah.
Little Jimmy Burbank. And he took a load of pills this time, man, and he just went, he's brilliant. He's so funny.
Listen to him
so Theo Von would be, you could easily, and I'd be mad listening to him, but he'd be up there. And there's a few others as well, like Dave Chappelle we were talking about already. I'd have him in there as well, and I'd say he'd be well able to handle his drink too. Like he'd be well able to, Tommy Tiernan the same, he'd be well able to put away a pint. But if I was to pick one comedian, I'd say Bill Burr. Do you listen to him at all?
Bill Burr, yes. He's brilliant.
Funny. That is such a good choice.
Because he'd be able to chat away about.
He'd definitely be able to chat
away about the sport.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Did you ever see
and he's so controversially funny.
Did you ever see that clip of him when he's talking about Kilkenny on like a podcast when he's down for the Cat's Laps?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Talking about.
I forget what he says.
It was on the Joe Rogan podcast. No, it wasn't. It was
on his own one. It was on his own one. What's it called?
Because Dom Herrera talks about it on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah. Does Dom talk about it as well?
Wait,
were you there cover?
Kilkenny, we went to go see him, Jack, but he talks about the cat laughs in Kilkenny.
They talk about wandering down. I think it sounds like they're talking about Kieran Street, where they're wandering down.
It does.
And he said, but the way he describing it is so funny. He was like, it's so Irish, you know, walking down this cobble street at 3 a.m. and we walk into this bar and there's a guy half slung over a chair and there's a guy shillelagh doodly doodle in the corner. But like the way he's talking, like he could be talking about someone we know sitting in the corner, like, you know, in the corner of a pub somewhere. I'd say he'd be unreal to go for a pint for. So Bill Burr would be my first one.
Okay, I like that one.
So then number two would be, now, I don't know how good he'd be for the drink, but I'd be a massive fan of him. And not everybody is now, but Jordan Peterson.
That's exactly I was going to say.
I knew you were going to say it.
I knew it.
Jordan Peterson.
I fucking love him.
I love him too. He's the man. He's the absolute man.
And I remember saying to you before, remember when we were in Vietnam and we were talking about him?
And
I was like, nah, I don't like him. He's like,
and you came too. I
just started listening to him again, and I was like, "Jeez, this lad he just knows what he's on about." Like I started doing stuff that he was saying like to do, like in a row, or you're trying to find your way or something. I was like, then you notice it, like what the fuck, like he actually knows.
It actually works. Like he's thousands and thousands of hours just talking to people about shit that's going on in their lives and helping them get through it, and he like. Jesus, who else would you want to talk to about fucking life? And I'd say, again, I don't know how good he'd be to drink a pint, but sure, sitting down beside Bill Burr. Funny enough, did you ever see him on Theo Von's podcast? Where
Jordan Peterson was on Theo Von's podcast.
Yeah, there's a great clip.
That. Oh, what?
There's a great clip, Robbie. It's about maybe 7 minutes long. It's called Theo Von making Jordan Peterson laugh. and it's just it's so good because you never really see him cracking up, like, you know.
He did. He wears the fucking blue suit. He's wearing like the blue
Yeah,
kind of navy
yeah,
suit.
yeah.
I seen it. I can't remember it. I saw it fucking years ago or fucking
Yeah,
months, whatever it is,
Theo says something. He says something to him like, "It's like you're everybody's stepdad that just comes back when our own father is left and come in to like make all our lives better." And Jordan Peterson just cracks up laughing at him. But yeah, Jordan Peterson will be the second, and number 3 for me, alive or dead, would probably be. I'm gonna go for Elvis Presley. Be number 3,
Because he
just
would
because
be
yeah.
well
he would
good.
be. He
I,
would
I
be.
I actually just saw a picture of him. Do you see him in his last like year?
Oh, he
He
ballooned.
looks
Oh really?
dreadful. No, I
Oh
mean
man.
he looks like Elvis Presley ate Elvis Presley with a keg of beer. He looks dreadful.
But I'd say that man, first of all, he definitely knows how to fucking go on the beer. Like, he definitely knows how to
definitely. I'd say
grab.
probably take every drug under the sun while
Yeah,
under the beer.
yeah.
Like, do you know
But
what I mean?
he'd have stories to bait the band as well. Like, you might like I remember I just went on a binge during lockdown, just going through YouTube or whatever. I just went on down a rabbit hole of like watching all Elvis Presley videos, and the way he goes on when he's performing, he's absolutely sweating buckets and he's getting mad into it and going down winking at girls, and just you're looking at him going, that
King.
lad is, the king is right. Like, they're wearing the big white suit and the collar popped, and
He
caught
looked
in a
like
trap.
Meatloaf at the end. Do you know what Meatloaf
Yeah.
looks?
Oh, he went down a bad way towards the end. All right,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I like that. Was actually a good one. I like that one.
That'd be a good trio.
Jesus Christ,
What about
mine are not like that at all.
go on, Rob? Throw
Mine
it
are
out
totally different as well.
Well,
But
I need
okay.
to think of a third person because you took one of my, you took Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. We'll go for Cormac there, so we'll give you a
Okay,
chance to
so
think about
right,
that.
I have 2 groups, right? So what I decided to do was I decided to go Irish,
Fucking break the rules there, Carl.
Irish,
Yeah.
and then go outside, of Ireland. So if I had to go
That's
for
not
a
too bad,
pint
yeah.
in Ireland, in Christie's, in the
I have
local,
one.
in Ireland, right? I'd have 3 people, right? We mentioned one already, Tommy Tiernan. Oh my God.
Good
I
shout.
think his stories will be listening to his podcast, he's probably one of the funniest men around. Definitely him. I go with Shane Lowry because he is one of the funniest people on the beer. Like, say, he is great crack for pints.
Well able for a pint, I'd say.
And then I went for the last one. Although he doesn't drink anymore, he stopped drinking. I go with Roy Keane. He was absolutely excellent on the beer. I'd say his stories on the Gary Neville show, like, just totally hilarious, and he's so funny. Do you know what I mean? So that would be. So them 3 would definitely be my Irish ones.
They'd be a good trio right now. I'd say Roy and Tommy would have a good little bounce off each other.
Yeah, my outside of Ireland one, which I take was pretty because I enjoyed this one, right? So I started off. He just fought at the weekend. The absolute dosser, Tyson Fury.
Tyson
what
Fury.
A man for a pint.
Actually.
Then I went with Liam Gallagher out of Oasis.
Very good.
He is the funniest. He'd have story like I was listening to a story of him, and he was talking about the time he met Maradona. And he was saying like they're all off their heads or something like that, and Maradona was up like doing keepy uppies with a bottle cap and all this kind of stuff, like, but his eyeballs were like out in the thing.
I saw that video. Not obviously doing the bottle caps of him talking about it.
Talk about it, yeah. And he was saying like he had all these ladies of the night around him and all this, but I'd say he just has loads and loads. Like the time that they went to America to break America, and they meant to take coke. But instead of taking cocaine, they took crystal meth. So the whole group was not able to work. They weren't able to do anything on stage. Like, there's funny stories like that.
It's in the documentary, isn't it? It's in Supersonic where they end up.
Supersonic, exactly.
They start playing different songs like they're at the same time. Like
songs at different times.
Yeah, correct.
And the last one.
Go on.
The last one, and I love this one. We talked about Ronaldo, but this is the real king, number 7, Eric Cantona. He's a king. He is the ultimate king. I'd say he's so funny, just being like around, talking about the stupid things that he talks about, and just being like, oh, I'd love to meet him. I'd love to just sit down with him for a little while.
they're three great men for the beer now. They're three. They
Yeah, but that's why I was kind of going to that. I wasn't going with Jordan Peterson that would probably not have a cup of tea, like, you know what I mean? Like, I went with lads that want pints.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Call,
like,
good call. You'd be out of your depth. I'd say Tyson will have you swept under the table.
Oh my God! I for 4 pints in 10 minutes, I'd be gone.
Yeah.
But it'd be so funny though. Like,
jeez,
I like them.
I don't think mine are gonna live up to any of them at all. I like my two of mine are just so like new age sort of media. It's like, oh, it's fucking typical Robbie. Like,
go ahead.
Jenny, know who True Geordie is?
Yeah, the podcaster, the big fella with the beard.
Yeah. I just love listening to him. Fucking hell, I don't know what it is about me, and he'd be a fucking great man for the beer. Like, he's I don't know. I just love
the fucking size of him.
Huge, like, but he's such kind of a unique story. I don't know, like, I'd love to meet him. Like,
yeah.
I love what he does on YouTube now, like with the fucking kickoff and the poker and stuff. Like, and like I'd love to, like, to do a poker thing. Do you ever watch that, actually, Jack? You'd probably be interested in the poker.
No, I didn't. Funny enough, now I've never listened to him, but he does pop up the whole time.
He's sponsored by Poker Stars, like, and he does.
Oh, like,
every. They don't do a podcast, but they do kind of a show on poker, and they sit around the table. They have this lad called he's a professional poker player. Like, he's won millions now. Like, he's
Daniel Negreanu.
No. His name's Charlie. He's not like known, or his name's like Charlie something. He's like really like
not ringing a bell.
No, I don't know his last name. He's like long hair, kind of scrawny and all. No, he's basically taught him how to play poker properly, and like he plays against professionals and all. And but like anyway, But anyway, it's like him and his friends basically sit around the poker table, play poker, and they just talk about crap like soccer and fucking on the beer and all this stuff. I don't know.
I must get into him.
I'd love to meet him. Like,
I'd say, going back to what we were saying earlier, I'd say he's some great takes on the takeover. I'd love to hear what he used to say about it.
On the actually, he's a load of rants about it. He made some point, actually. He was like, Joe, like the clubs.
He talks about it, Jay. He does talk about it.
Joe, the clubs called like an emergency meeting after.
Yeah, they're still at it, aren't they?
Yeah, and he was like, what the fuck are they on about? He's like, they didn't call an emergency meeting when the 6 clubs wanted to pull out of the Premier League and join the Super League. Like, I was like, fucking what a point. Like, he's so, like, it's things like that. He makes such good points, like.
There's also, I'd say, with that, they're just spooked about the amount of money they're getting acquired. They're 10 times richer than Man City now. Like, you know, that's you'd have to be spooked by that. Like, if you're not. Anyway, who's your next two? After True Geordie,
next one would be another lad who'd be fucking great on the beer, great for partying. He's like same age as us. Another fucking YouTuber. You probably can guess who it is. Fucking Logan.
Not Jake Paul.
No, Logan.
Logan Paul.
I used to hate him. Like,
do you know what? I get an appreciation for him. I got an appreciation for him.
I'm starting to get an appreciation. He actually is like. Listen. His podcast is just like
I do get he went wrong in China or whatever, Japan.
Yeah, like obviously all that shit, like, but like he's completely redeemed himself in my book. Like and like the stories he's gone about, like he's always just going out like getting off his face and shit, like getting fucking scuttered and all, like, I just fucking love him.
I feel like my opinion's tainted of that. And probably more for Jake, because Jake just seems like a complete fool. Like, but
no, do you know what though? Annoyingly, he's winning me over. Jake.
Stop, annoying. Robbie.
I still think he's a piece of shit, but like, it's just, I don't know why. Like, in fairness to him, like, I know like he's the boxing and all this shit, but like he's trying to get fighters more money. Like, he's saying like Tyrone Woodley got the biggest payday of his life fighting him. He got $3 million.
Well, he's not, Robbie. He's not doing it for them though. He's not like if he says he is, he's literally only trying to win the likes you over. Like, and he has like, and he is, you know, like he's. There's no way he's doing it for them. Like.
Credit to him. He's it's working. Fucking credit.
It is working, I suppose. Yeah, you're right. Tyrone Woodley did get a big, and Ben Askren said the same thing. He got more in one night fighting him than he did. And he just lost Cormac.
Just absolutely left us, did he?
Yeah, Cormac just there. Obviously not a fan of Jake Paul at all. Just really wanted to get out of there for
right, sure. We'll pause it here and we'll join back when Cormac when Cormac gets this. For my last person that nobody will know of.
Yeah.
Right, we're back after Cormac rudely
keep talking.
You rudely interrupted me again. Jesus Christ,
lads! I decided Do you know what it was? I was like
what the fuck
Robbie's
did you
second choice. I was just like Logan Paul. After Jordy, I was just like, do you know what, lads? I'm absolutely sick of this.
You're off for a pint with Tyson Fury there.
Yeah. No, Bill Cosby went for a pint with Bill Cosby and he drops under my drink.
Gave you a big lovely
Bill
sweater.
Cosby and Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Now there's
R.
three
Kelly.
and or Louis C.K. There's three lads.
Yeah, there's another lad that's a creep.
Yeah, Jesus. Anyway, Robbie, you're third man in. Third man
right,
in before you were rudely
of,
interrupted.
None of you probably know who this is. Like but Jesus Christ, I find him so
Sorry,
interesting.
guys.
Sorry about this, lads. No, but if people, I don't know, if people might be interested. Like, his name is Matthew Johnson, right? And he's like he's a he's a researcher for like drugs, like as in with like psilocybin and like LSD and MDMA, but he does it But he does it with people that like have like depression or like cancer or like fucking like schizophrenia, like all these things.
Unreal.
And he brings them into a lab like in his university.
So now I feel guilty for slagging that.
Yeah, no, but he brings them in and it's fucking nuts, right? He brings them in and he doses like people up, say like someone has severe depression, gives them a load of psilocybin and like it's like a whole experience. They do it over a few days and like they get to know like their guide. Someone guide is there with them, like, and he gives them like 30 milligrams or something of psilocybin, which is called like a heroic dose or something like that. And then like they do it over a couple.
Is that like that ayahuasca stuff as well?
No, psilocybin's like the stuff in magic
psilocybin.
Mushrooms.
Yeah,
it's like psilocybin, like psychedelic mushrooms, or whatever. So,
and
then like, not that they're cured, but like their depression is just severely.
They're
dropped,
getting.
Like, it's fucking crazy. Like
that's becoming. It's coming way back, becoming more popular now again. That using psychedelic drugs for treatment, things like ketamine, MD, ketamine therapy is a big thing.
Ketamine and MDMA is really good for people with PTSD. They give it to soldiers a lot. He does it with soldiers that come in. They give them a load of MDMA. And really
I've actually that was a great one to bring up, Rob. I've listened to a good few people talking about that. Like there's like it all that kind of treatment was the norm in like the 60s and 70s in America. They were treating people with acid, LSD, and that kind of stuff to see how it might work. And then I forget who it was it Nixon or one of the American presidents, whoever came in to do the war on drugs. It was basically just outlawed. Like there was Cormac was just decided to fuck off again. He's determined to ruin this podcast.
We're having a great conversation here about psychedelic drugs and
he's gonna have to take a load of mushrooms.
But no, you're right.
But I'm back. Sorry, right. The internet in my house is actually gone. So, sorry, listeners. My internet in the house is going.
No, but you're right, Jack. That was the thing back in the 60s when they were all. Starting to come back.
It's starting to come back big time now, and there's mad things that they're finding with. Like even like ketamine therapy is becoming the norm now in America. Like even funny to bring up another man we were talking about already, Theo Von talks about he was going getting ketamine therapy there recently because he's recovering. Yeah, he's a recovering drug addict, like, and he's gone in for a couple of sessions where they're like, it's mad how they describe it. Like you go in and they. Like you talk about it, so you're filled in about what it's going to be like, and they give it to you like intravenously, so you get an injection of it or whatever, and it's all completely regulated or whatever, and you're in there for an hour and you just chill out and you talk about it, and like they're getting mad results with it, like insane results, like even it works really well for things like depression, PTSD, like you said, trauma. But then even other stuff like quitting smoking, people are like they can use it. Swear to God, they're using it for different things like that. It's mad.
Jack, you should go on ketamine therapy.
I should. All right, you're right. I should find some way. I'm sure I can find someone that can sort me out. But luckily I've nothing wrong with me enough required. You're putting me in a hole. You're putting me in a spot here, Bart.
You're fags. The fags, mate. Jeez, the fags.
Oh yeah, that's what it's for. The fags.
If anyone is interested in listening to him, like he doesn't have his own podcast.
What's his name again, Mike? Rob? What's his name again?
Matthew Johnson. So if you look,
I may look him up myself.
He's been on Joe Rogan, and he's been on another lad that I really like called Andrew Huberman. He calls the Huberman.
All right.
He's a podcast called the Huberman Lab, and he's on it, and the stuff they talk about is fucking. I forget. Obviously, you forget half of it, but at the time you're like, geez, this is amazing. But like,
do you know who's one, Rob? Now, the only reason I know that Huberman lad is because I've heard him talk about it, is Lex Friedman. Did you ever listen to him?
He was on that. I think.
He's been on it a couple of times.
Yeah, I found him from Joe Rogan, but I listened to the Lex Friedman one.
I love Lex Friedman, but he's so good. He's so interesting.
I don't listen to Lex that much though, but I should. He's really interesting.
He's one of them. He's got the kind of voice where, like Sam Harris, where you kind of like you'd nearly put him on as you're going to sleep. Like, you know, he's kind of monotone. You're not off listening to him, but it's also so interesting as well. Like, you know,
he's so knowledgeable.
So good. Yeah, you'd learn some amount off it. Like,
wouldn't you, like?
Learn some. It's insane. Make you want to go take Ket.
But honestly, that Andrew Hugh or the Matthew Johnson lad, you're like, Jesus, I want to be in a lab doing that stuff. Like, it sounds fucking unreal. Like.
Yeah, man, they're doing in university here in Maastricht. There's loads of trials with LSD that you can just sign up for, to go in. Like, they'll microdose you with it or whatever. And like, even what I wrote my thesis on was giving people Ritalin. Like, we brought them in, just students, give them like one dose of Ritalin and see did it actually work as a study drug. But it's like they do it for LSD, for MDMA, loads of different. It's becoming the norm now to start testing it again and to see does it work. And more often than not, it actually does. Like, you know, and they've just got such a stigma about it as well. Like, you know, for like even say our parents' generation and all, they'd just be used to hearing this thing.
Sorry, but when you think about it, they're eating mushrooms.
yeah.
Literally eating a mushroom.
Came out of the ground.
I know, obviously, that they get taken pill format, but like, essentially.
But it's the same idea.
Essentially just eating a mushroom. Like, no, that's illegal. Fuck off.
Did you ever hear there's a mad theory, the burning bush theory? Do you know Moses? Do you know the story of Moses where he met the burning bush and he thought God was talking to him or whatever? There's a mad theory that in that part of I think Israel,
in Jerusalem, that they're all
Jerusalem, that he was there was a bush that was burning and it could have been something that had a lot of psychedelics in it, and Moses was looking at it and just inhaling the smoke off and go, "Whoa, this bush is
just
talking to me."
sitting there going,
this think about why you think the Jesus was like Jesus, like, he did all his miracles because there was like that.
Tripping balls, like
but like, that's a big conspiracy.
I've heard it. Yeah, there's another one, the Stoned Ape Theory. The Stoned Ape Theory is that like we evolved from like where consciousness came from was that the apes at somewhere down the evolutionary line, it was just a lot of monkeys just started eating mushrooms because they come across them on the ground or whatever, and that's where consciousness could have came from, was that they found this food source, they started eating mushrooms, and it's called
blown, bro.
The Stoned Ape Theory. Look it up, it's mad, it's insane. There's a fella who was on Joe Rogan.
I'm just not forgetting that now because there's like that NFT called the Stoned Ape. Ah, right.
Do you know? Yeah, we should have just called this podcast the Three Stoned Apes.
That's actually what we're gonna call it now.
Yeah,
the coffee pod. They're not a glass of coffee has been drank in the full 16 episodes.
In the full glass of whiskey. In the full 16 episodes, we haven't drank one glass of coffee.
Where did that actually come from? Like, what was the
our whole idea was that like we sit down with each other and having a coffee, kind of like talking about it, and then we have like the listeners even sit down and have a coffee with us because it's not a long podcast. It's only like 40 something minutes, so we decided that we did.
Jeez, if Freddie wants to be nursing the cup of coffee to get through the 40 minutes.
Have a French press.
yeah. Be absolutely wired. Have 7 cups of coffee by the end of it. Should be bouncing around the place.
Now we feel really shit about the coffee pod name. So change it. Let's change it all.
I like it.
Nah, the name is, the brand is stuck. The brand is stuck now.
Jack's in his 3rd episode and he's already slagging.
Yeah, dictating, calling the shots. Yeah.
Kid.
Sorry, listeners. Sorry about that. Hold on, leaving the podcast and my internet crashing.
Hey, don't fucking do it again.
But the place kept on, so it was all right. It was all right. Apology about that. Keep an eye on us on Instagram, Spotify. You know where we're at. Look up the Coffee Pod and look it up. And keep us sending in the things and keep it real, brothers.
Nice one. Good luck.